what are you seeing from Brock this year? His numbers are down a little bit. He's 2-2. He doesn't have Christian McCaffrey anymore. Is he getting better? Is the league catching up to him? What's your impression of Brock?
I don't think it's a matter of the league catching up with him. Number one, the Ayuk factor has taken away a few big plays that they would get. One or two throws a game to Ayuk, those are big gains. You're not throwing a 5-yard hitch to the guy. You're hitting him on a downfield throw. You're talking about big chunk passes. So that part's missing right now from Ayuk. And then you're missing the security blanket, so to speak, of having McCaffrey, to whom you can throw the ball on a 5-yard route and he gains 12 yards because his run after the catch ability is so good. So you've taken out a big chunk of a safety valve concept for the Niners offensively because you don't have a running back you're utilizing out of the backfield like you did McCaffrey. And so it's a lot easier to complete a 5-yard throw than it is a 25-yard throw. So, and then McCaffrey gains you another 7-8 yards after the catch. Now, the thing about it is, you've got to have somebody else who could replace that value that McCaffrey provided and the additional run after the catch. So far, the Niners have not demonstrated that. So now that puts a greater burden on the other players. And also, it gives the defense some relief because they don't have to worry about the McCaffrey factor because he's not out there. So that's one less weapon, one less dominant player against whom the defense has to have no concern.
Yeah, Forrester was saying yesterday that there are certain things that defenses won't do against the Niners when McCaffrey's on the field that they will do when he's off the field, and now that just makes everything so much more difficult for them.
That's a good observation by him because it's accurate.
What's your prediction for the game? Niners-Cardinals.
I should think that the Niners should still score 27 to 34 points, especially if they get their red zone act together. The thing about it is, what normally there's been a few big chunk plays that can get the Niners into the red zone quickly. And that's another factor that I don't see this year that has been prominent in previous years, even with Kyle calling plays. I don't see those big chunk passes for 35, 40 yards, the deep crossing routes, the clear outs, and the receiver dragging, catching the ball 22 yards down the field. And, the Niners would be in the red zone within 3 plays, bam, they'd be there. Now they have to work and matriculate the ball down the field a little bit more. And I think that also is making it more of a struggle for them. They don't have that big play dynamic that they've had previously. And they're having to earn their way down the field more than they did previously.
We see that the Cardinals lost 42-14 last week, so the Niners absolutely should be expected to beat them. That being said, a couple weeks ago, the Niners faced the Rams, who were coming off a 41-10 loss, and the Rams beat them. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Niners show up and take this game seriously. We have a couple of questions. Ethan says, why does Kyle always stop running when up 10?
Yeah. He must think the game's in the bag. But I tell you what, if you're up by 10, you should run the close out the game. Especially if you got 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, you're ahead by 10 points. Why am I throwing the ball?
Why? I don't know. Harold McCow says, Tom, if you were head coach of a team, who would you hire as your defensive coordinator?
Oh, my goodness.
John Fox?
Well, John and I go back to when we were in our 20s, when he was my defensive coordinator in San Diego. John's now a senior defensive consultant for the Detroit Lions. He's been there for several years working with the Lions, and a great mind, excellent coach, bright, creative, understands the defense. I would bring him in as if nothing else, I'd say, John, you can come be the senior consultant, and you can coach the coaches on defense. And then, find a young mind who can be groomed, so to speak, and have a senior defensive assistant like John who can, it's like in the old days when I was 27, 26, I had Sid Gilman. That's like having a set of encyclopedias on your shelf, Right. It's like having Einstein in your office every day. Sid, teach me this. Show me. Sid, what do you think about this? Explain something. And the guy had 60 years of experience.
And that means that vicariously I've been tutored by Sid Gilman. Everyone watching this show today has been tutored by Sid Gilman. So thank you, Sid. Thank you very much, Tom. Those are all my questions. We're expecting a Niners win this week. Let's see if they can take care of business. And we'll talk next week.
Great. Have a good weekend, Grant.
You too, Tom. Thank you very much. See you guys, everyone.